Hello, 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 Stamping Friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on into the craft room, guys. I am Caron Bailey, your ATX Stampin Lady, and I am so happy that you guys could join me here today for a little bit of time, for a little bit of crafting in the craft room. As I said, I am Caron. I am in Austin, Texas. I have been a Stampin Up demonstrator for 10 years. Actually, this is my 11th year. June will be 11 years. So I've been a Stampin Up demonstrator for over 10 years. And I love this craft, this hobby that I'm in. I call it a hobby, but it is my relaxation, my way of sharing a little bit of joy, because as I create any card, so much goes into it, and I'm so blessed and filled with a card that when I send it, I am just thinking about the recipient as I create in that process. So a lot of love gets poured into the cards and the projects that I make. Today's projects are going to be focusing on one of our kits. I think this was last month's kit. Last month being March, there is a new kit that is now available. As soon as I do receive that, we will of course have a kit together play date. So let's open and discover what is in our box. Before I do that, you guys, if you are new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's always helpful for me if you interact with me. That way I know exactly if you can hear. I do sound checks, and my creativity just sparks a little bit more when I'm able to interact with you as you speak, as we interact during the session. Most of the projects that I do create, I do not practice beforehand. I kind of just dive in and get with it. So you'll see sometimes all the mistakes that I make, and just learning, just like if you would open the box, and how you would create with it. If you are returning to my channel, guys, thanks you so much. I really appreciate it. I do know that you have so many different options and folks that you can watch. The fact that you are spending any time at all with me, I am truly honored and truly blessed that you are able to spend some time with me. All right, let's get ready and dive right into the Happy Happenings kit. By the way, I keep these, okay? And I'll share with you why throughout the video. I keep them for a lot of reasons. This Happy Happening kit is to celebrate birthdays, welcome babies, thank you, and happily ever after. There's no one in my world right now that's having babies, but it's always nice to have something that's on hand, because there's people at work that might need something. I don't know anybody that's getting married right now either, but again, always, what is it that we used to say in the military? Stay ready so that you don't have to get ready. So that's what today is all about. I'm going to do a little bit of get ready so that I can be ready whenever any one of these occasions arise, or somebody just happens to say to me, hey, I need a card for X, Y, and Z. This kit is $24, and with it we will make 3 cards. 3 cards. Actually 9 cards, 3 of each of the 3 designs. Minimally today I'll make 1 of each card. I may try to create an alternative. I don't think so. I think I'm just going to make the 3 cards as is, and get them ready and be prepared for them to be mailed out. So let me share with you what's in the kit. What we get in the kit. We get a stamp set. This is the stamp set. And in that stamp set, we have a little bit of a, what do you call this thing? A little bit of a graphic that we're going to hold the stamp set in. And this is called, oh, it's going to be that way. There's happily ever after, thank you, welcome baby, kindly deliver to, for all you do, from all of us, sweet little one, congratulations. And then there's some other little graphic images that we can use. I'll show you what I do with this as well. We have an ink cube. This one is Mossy Meadow. we have a block. One of the things with Stampin' Up! With our kits, our all-inclusive kits, you guys, you can, once you get this, you can grab and go and take this anywhere completely. You don't have to worry about anything else, making sure that you have anything else packed and ready to go. These kits are complete. All right, so I think I had gone ahead. I know I did because it's already done. Ha ha ha. And so I went ahead already, and I have these. I'm going to put the envelopes aside because I don't need them just yet. And I went ahead and I've already put them, all the die cuts into the mise en place. So as we work with one versus the other, we just get ready to go. So let's see. Card number 1 is the yellow. I'm going to put them in order. Card number 2 is the peach. And card number 3 is our cloud cover set. All right. So one of the things with the diagrams is, if you're not familiar with Stampin' Up! Kits, is that it tells you which pieces or what parts goes with each kit. That way you can put everything together and you could kind of more or less assembly line your card making. So card number 1, this is all the parts and pieces that goes with it. Card number 2 and card number 3. Okay? And then you get to the section that tells you how to put everything together. Additionally, you have a little bit of a ruler here that you can use to measure anything that needs to be measured. Okay? So let's go ahead and get started with card number 1. Okay? And before we do that, let me show you what I do with this. So in order to do that, let me just grab, this is like 1/8 of an inch double-sided tape. I'm just going to make a little bit of a pocket for it. So that my stamp stays very secure. And of course we only want to seal 2 of the edges because the 3rd is already done. And then burnish our folds. Grab my Take Your Pick tool. And now that that's done, we're just going to close this over. And there we go. Right? And you would think that's it. I have these cute little pockets. And what I'm going to do with them and so what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to now put this guy in here, and I'm going to add a little bit of a label, not right now, but I'm going to label it when I'm finished, and then I'll put everything back in this case. And this is how I store my kit and my paper pumpkin stamp sets. Okay? Every kit you have a block, so I have lots of kit blocks, paper pumpkin blocks. And this, we're going to keep this out because we are going to need this for our process. All right, so card number 1, here's what it's telling us to do. Okay, we don't need these just yet, but on this little piece right here, and we're going to do it all at once if we can. I don't see why we can't. Sometimes you have to bring in other excess materials. You don't have to. You could use that block for everything. But I am choosing to bring out one of the smaller blocks from Stampin' Up. I'm going to condition my stamp. I don't think I opened my ink spot. So let me go ahead. I did not open the ink spot. All right. I want to cut myself, so let's just go ahead and open this. It is overcast and raining here in Austin. What's going on in your world? Is it raining? What's the weather? Okay. Perfect. All right. So with this on, with the stamp on the block, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to ink them all up at the same time. Yeah. All three of them. Okay. There's one about here. There's one about here. There's one about here. And then there's one about here. This is what we call assembly line stamping. That's what I call it anyway. Right? And then this one goes this way. So this is all done. So that's the first thing. See, step number 1. Step number 2 is we're going to put "For All You Do" on the block. Like so. That looks pretty straight to me. Going to condition our stamp. Clean this off. Put it back on the Then we're going to grab the little sentiment strips. And there's 4 in the kit just in case you mess up, but you only need the 3, okay? Whoops. Sorry about that. Condition our stamp. And I just kind of play with it a little bit. I like to stamp it. Even though I've conditioned it, I do like to stamp just to see, okay, what's going on. And then it also helps, it's another part of conditioning as well. I'm absolutely starving right now. I don't know. I haven't eaten at all for the day. Have y'all eaten today? Now it says to make sure we kind of keep it more towards the right hand side. So make sure that we stamp close to the right hand side. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. And I'm counting, and I count out loud for our new stampers. Sometimes it just helps to understand that in order to transfer ink properly, you gotta have to let the ink soak through the paper. And so maybe if you count it out, that kind of helps to ensure that you leave it in place for I guess an appropriate amount of time. You don't have to count out loud. I just did it for our purposes to show you that I do It's like automatic now for me to do it. I just count it out loud for your purposes. All right, so we have that one. We have all of our For All You Do's. And they're stamped approximately all in the same position. Okay, that's 3 of them. Then the other thing we need to stamp is our thank yous. So let's grab our thank yous. Get this cleaned off. I went out on a beautiful walk this morning. The sky was very overcast. It misted a couple of times, which isn't bad. I thought the sky was going to open up, but it did not. It just kind of rained a little lightly. I broke out my jacket a little bit. Not even for a long period of time. We have Austin Foodie Land. We have Foodie Land in town this weekend. So I'm excited about that. We're going to go, my sister and I are going to go tomorrow evening. It was supposed to be starting at 1 o'clock today, but with the weather, they have postponed it to start at about 5 o'clock today. So we just decided we're going to go at 5 o'clock tomorrow, the last day. So hopefully the sky does not open up. Hello, thanks for joining. Please let me know who you are and where you're watching from. Thank you for joining me today. We are playing with the Happy Happenings kit. I believe this kit debuted last month being March, in my online store, and it is still available today. I checked before I came on. So it is still available as of when I came live today. Alright, so we are working on card number 1, and we are doing a little bit of mass production here. When I say mass production, means I'm stamping everything. I'm doing everything for each of the cards, and then we'll get to assembly after the fact. Okay? So thank you goes in the middle. And then I'm counting 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000. And again, I do that, and I do it out loud on video only to show you that, to ensure that you have a good amount of time so that the ink transfers properly. I only need 3 of them, so I have a fourth one just in case we mess up, which I don't think we will. What is everybody doing for Easter? Happy Easter, everybody. We had to work. It is not a holiday for us here in the city. So yesterday was a work day, so Good Friday I was at work. Did everybody else celebrate Good Friday? Okay. Alright, so we're stamping and inking up our last for this card number 1. Okay. And there we go. Alright, so now that we've got all of our sentiments stamped, what else does it tell us to do? Oh, we're still not done, guys. We still have a lot of stamping left to do. So let's continue. We're going to need this, and we're going to need is it this one we need? Need 3 of them, and then a couple of these. All right. So now I have to look. see what the finished card looks like, because I'm missing an element there. Okay, so we need these and 2 of these, and that's it. Because we're working on this one. So you see we've got 1, 2, I need 1 of these. Okay, that's what we need. So we need 6 of these. All right. So do you see what I did? I needed to make sure that I had all of the elements that was necessary to stamp on these cards. All right, so we've got this big one. It's gonna go on this. Thank goodness I brought the little block out. And then let's get these stamped. And we need 2 for each card, so we're gonna stamp out 6 of them. Okay, perfect. Okay. Got some rice going in the rice cooker. I had some chicken thighs I did the other day in the air fryer. So it's probably gonna be my breakfast and lunch and probably dinner, because I don't eat breakfast as a general rule. I do not. Alright. That. I need one of these for each card, so I need 3 of them stamped. 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. And then there's a smaller floral center for the smaller flowers, so we're going to grab that. Actually, no, it's the same one. No, it looks different. It's a different size. So let's find that one. Alright, so I'm going to have to get over this. So hopefully I'll get them somewhat straight. The thing about not, when I'm stamping on camera, I'm not necessarily able to see if I'm not directly over it. There we go. And then there should be 6 more in here somewhere. Because we need 3 for each card. What is your favorite thing to do on a prefer to be in my craft room, whether rainy or not. You can always find me either in my craft room, you can find me in my craft room, you can find me in my office, you can find me on my living room couch. Because if I'm not crafting, if I'm not in my office, I am zoning out behind the TV or listening to an audiobook. That is my favorite pastime, is audiobook listening. Or last place is the bedroom. I go to sleep. I'm not a napper. I don't nap. I do not. I wouldn't know how to nap. I don't even think I napped as a kid. I don't think so. Alright, I think once we're done with this, we are done with all of our stamping. And I just saw the big one, so let's hope we're going to stamp right over these guys, yeah? And fill that space just a little bit more. I just created my own little design element there. Yeah, I did. Okay, so now I think we're done with all of our stamping. So now we'll get ready to assemble card number 1. So what do we need to do here? So we've done step 1, we've done step 2, we're going to work on step 3. Step 3 is we're going to bring out our scalloped edge, and there's going to be our, where are my dimensionals? Oh, here they are. Ah, that's what that is. Bring out our dimensionals, and they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I would rather not do that. I generally do follow all of the instructions on kits, but to me that just seems like kind of a waste when I have foam tape that I can use to do the same thing. Give myself a little bit of a better result, I think. Okay. Now again, Stampin' Up! In the kit did provide everything you need to do that. This is just a preference for me. So I dove into my stash for this. You do not have to dive into anything else other than what was provided in the kit. Okay? You do not. I went out this morning and I looked at some a venue. So January of this year, I will be hosting my first all-day crop. Are you familiar with what a crop is? It's kind of where you get together, you bring your unfinished projects or your work, whatever you want to work on, and you kind of, it's just a time to meet up with other crafters in the area, and spend a couple of hours crafting, talking, socializing, networking, and all that kind of good stuff. So I just saw some space. I love the space. It's gonna work for our purposes. So that's done. And then on the yellow pieces, we need to do some score tape. Okay. So I'm happy about that. We gave the dates. She's going to go check on the dates availability. And then if it's available, guys, we are about to start doing some day crops here in Austin. Exciting. I'm excited about it. Yeah. That's one. That's two. Now I call this score tape, but it is double-sided tape. Score tape is a brand, but it is double-sided adhesive, okay? Okay, so we've got all of that done. Looking for my embossing folder. Where did it go? I heard it drop on the floor. There it is. And I'm going to do is burnish the adhesive. Okay. Okay. So, here's what we have. Oops. We also need some adhesive across the top here. One. Two. On three of them. And then on the other three, we're going to use some dimension, some foam, some dimensions. Here it is. I know I put it somewhere. I was looking for it. And we just need two. One. And for purposes of the kits, I found that sometimes it's best just to follow what the instructions have said in terms of where to put adhesive. I'm missing one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. I'm missing one somewhere. I'll find it. Okay. On our sentiment, our thank you, we need 5 of them. I definitely like to, when I'm making the kits up, I do try to do it assembly line, especially if I'm going to make all the items in the kit the way that the kit wants for it to be done. I do tend to do it all the same. Alright, so let's see what else do we have here. It says these are going to have foam tape or double-sided tape. One, two, and three. Okay. And then let's see what else we've got. So we've got that done. This one needs a couple of glue dots. On there. And there are glue dots. So there's 2 glue dots on that, on each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So those have glue dots on them. What else? I need a glue dot. I'm trying to see where else. Oh, that didn't stick. Okay. So let's start assembling and see where we are at this point, okay? So, on one, we have got one of these. And this is kind of like towards the top. Right, like that. I'm going to put this on here. And the reason I'm going to do that is because there's adhesive. Just burnishing that in a little bit. I don't think I want to do that for the other ones. Because if I do need to stamp again, I can't do it because it's already mounted on something that has dimensionals on it, right? Okay. So we've got that part there. Then we need a leaf, which I just saw one here. We need 2 of them. I don't think I did those yet. I forgot to take them out of the kit. So do you like crafting with kits, or do you prefer to do it from your own mind, whatever you create? What is your preference? So we've got this that's going here. Okay, that's one. And if you have supplies and if you prefer to use liquid glue like I do, you can always use liquid glue if that's your preference instead of glue dots. All right. Okay. And then we have this one, like so. Okay. Then we're going to grab our sentiment, or thank you. Our thank you is going to go about here. Perfect. For all you do. That's going to go across like so. And sort of placement, sometimes you don't have to be like 100% exact. Okay, so there's that. And then we have got this image right here. Yeah. No, no, no. Okay. And this guy is going to go about here. We're going to grab one of these. This guy is going to go about here. Let me ease that down just a tad. Like that. And then we've got one of these. This is why sometimes you do everything all at once, so you're not slowing, you're just moving at a pace. You're just moving at a single pace and assembling, right? And so here we go, we're going to put one of these here. And we have one here. I think one is supposed to be with a glue dot, but I'm not going to put a glue dot on it. So it's one with a glue dot, one without. But I'm just going to put this right here, like so. Okay. 1, 2, and that's it. So now we can put our card together. So now that we know exactly what we've done, we should be able to just zip through the remaining 2 cards in this kit. Look at that. And there's some gems that's going to go on here, but I'm going to add the gems at the end, okay? So that's number 1. Let's see. This. And then this is going to go here. This is going to go here. Right. I can smell the rice cooker. Okay, so there's that one. Oh, we got to do the leaves. Before we do the other things, we gotta do the leaves. It's 2 leaves per card. So can you think of anyone that you would send a thank you card to? It's definitely a spring color palette. It's definitely a spring color palette, that is for sure. And some people might be saying, well, it's not pretty masculine, you know, so I don't know, I wouldn't send it to a guy. But guys, you can do anything you'd like. How would you make this a non or a more masculine card? Let's see, what would I do to make this a more masculine card? I'm going to have all of these release papers to clean up because I'm just taking them off and putting them down, right? That's why they end up in all kinds of weird places. Literally, that is why they end up everywhere, because they just fly off. Alright. We got that. We got number 2 over here. Our sentiment. Do you see how much faster assembly goes once you kind of have a good idea as to where things will go? Because once you've played with the first one, you kind of know where everything else is going to go, right? Okay. I think this guy's going to go about right here. Like so. And then this is going to go about right here. Oops. Okay. Then we're going to need one of these. Oh, we already put one up there. Because there's 2 per card. this is going to go here, like that. And our card is done. Our assembly is done. Okay. That just went very quickly. Do the next one. Like so. Grab one of these. Like so. I'll put this one right about here. Then I need my 2 leaves. As we have made 3 cards of the 9. Normally if I do this in the evening, I tend to just do one of each. That way, you know, you can see the assembly of each of them. It's during the day, we have a little bit more time, so I'm gonna make them all. I hope. I hope to make them all. Okay. So we're going to have this one that goes about here. And this one. The material, with the leaves and the stems on these leaves, they're so dainty, they're kind of fragile-ish, and so I just want to make sure. I'm missing one. I realized I was before, but I where is that one? Alright, where did it go? It's not in the bag, that is for sure. It's not here. I took out 6. So it's either stuck to something. Go. Not quite sure where that other one went. So we're going to adhere everything that we can until we can unearth that third one. And then if we can't unearth that third one, we'll figure out a workaround. This is why we burnish the adhesive. Like so. All right. Once everything is assembled, it's fairly quick to once all the stamping and the adhesive is done, everything goes relatively quickly after that. This is going to go here. That's number 2. This is number 3. No, that's not the right one. are going to do, because we know these go on there. Right. Because I know this is going to be over here somewhere, like that. Okay. And I'll add the other two elements once I figured out where the last piece of it is. Okay. Alrighty. I'm doing pretty good with the eyeballing, because y'all know I have issues with aligning things properly, right? So I think I'm doing okay. Number 2. All right. And 3rd. Okay. Card number 1 is done. Put these elements back so they don't get lost. And until I can find that big old flower. Okay. So this is done. Let me do a little bit of cleanup here, guys. Let's hope this vacuum is strong enough to suction some of these backs. Oh, this is a cute little desk vacuum that I got. I think I got it on Amazon. I mean, where else do we get our stuff, right? Okay, so our workspace is relatively release paper free. Alright, let's put these aside. I'm going to find that 3rd one. I am. Okay. Now we're going to move on to card number 2 and do primarily the same thing. Okay. So in card number 2, we have, this is our card base, so we're going to leave these in here for now. We have our sentiment, or our focal images. We've got a white, pale, what is, I would call that pale, I was going to say pale papaya, but that's not. Oh my gosh, what's it called? Oh my gosh, I'm trying to figure out the color, but it's not working for me. Okay, and then we have all of these items that we're going to add. Oh, maybe I didn't have one in there. Maybe I didn't. We'll see. Okay, so on this one, we are going to stamp Happily Ever After. And we only need 3 of them. Again, Stampin' Up! Gives you, in some of the pieces, you get 1 extra. That way, if you make a mistake somehow, you are able, of course, you can always flip over. So you do have another opportunity to shine. Alright, you do have another opportunity to shine. If you make a mistake. If you make a mistake. I said at the beginning, I'm excited. Tomorrow is the last day for the Austin Foodie Land event. It was rescheduled from last month because of weather, and we're having horrible weather this weekend as well. But they did not reschedule it this time, so we had tickets for Saturday, and they said you can go any day because of the reschedule. You can go any day you want. So we were deciding, and my sister and I just decided that we were going to go on Sunday. To Foodie Land. We went last season, I think it was. I don't remember when it was. In the fall, I think. Or was it about a year ago? I think it was almost exactly a year ago we went. And, oh my gosh, there was like an oyster station. Oh my gosh. It was divine. Expensive, but divine. They had a truck that had lobster. I mean, the food offerings were on point. So I'm excited to go back. And see what else is out there. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to stamp now that we've released all of those. And we're going to stamp Happily Ever After. I'm trying to be so much better at cleaning as I go. Trying being the operative word. This Welcome Baby, that's not the one we're doing. Although you can pretty much use whatever sentiment you'd like. You can create them or make them your own, right? I'm just gonna, like I said, following the instructions. I don't know whether it's my paper that's crooked or my eyeballs or what. There we go, that looks straight. Do a little bit of conditioning. Ink up my stamp. Perfect. And now I'm gonna stamp. There's so many different things that you can do to kind of personalize. Even though it's a kit, and yes, everybody that buys the kit will have the same card. Lord, hope you're not going to the same party or sending a gift to the same person. But there are so many different things you can do to personalize this and make this your own, right? From the jewels that you add. I mean, we can emboss this piece if we wanted to. We can, ooh, let me show you what I am going to do with this. Just to give it another added layer of depth, right? And I'll do it to 1. Dab, dab, dab with the ink. Okay, so that's done. And then we are going to put double-sided adhesive on the backs of these according to our instructions. On the 12th of April, we've got the Cap 10K. This will be the first year in a long time that I am not participating in the Cap 10K. Normally my walking group, the slowest shell walkers, we get out there and we get it done. I don't know what happened this year. Some of us missed registration, so we weren't able to sign up. This. Then we're going to need some more foam tape on these guys. Just get her done. That's one. That's two. I think I am going to, do you guys are you guys like 48-hour fans on, I love anything of that series where they explore past crimes, you know. I'm a crime junkie. Yes, I am a crime junkie. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we've got these. We've got these. That's going to go there. That's going to go there. And that's going to go there. So we've got these done. And now I need this one. Let me see how many are here. We need 1. So I really just need 3. But there's 4. Let me grab this one so I can put it on that other card. Okay. And then we can take that off of and finish this one up. Just like that, see? I knew I was going to have another one somewhere. At least I hoped I did. I hoped I would find another one. And then this guy's going to go about right here. Okay. Okay, so we've done with this. We've done with that. Put that back. We're going to need this larger one right here. We're going to put our happily ever after away. All right. So, let's grab 3 of these. Oh yeah, we definitely had definitely had too many over here. Huh. Definitely. One, 2, and 3. Because we only need one for each of our flowers, our cards. Okay, so we've got these 3 done, and they've got tape on them. here we go. What are we popping up? Oh, just that? Okay, just that. So here we go. Tape. Tape. And tape. Okay, those are done. We're going to need some glue dots on 6 of these. Oh, we got to stamp those. Where are my glue dots? Here they are. One and two. Have you had the opportunity to go out to the online store to see the kits for this month? Oh, there is a card making kit and a scrapbook kit. I'm not a big scrapbooker, so I don't really do a lot with the scrapbooks, but guys, there are opportunities for if you like to scrapbook. We do have products geared toward folks that scrapbook. I've tried it. I just really, it's kind of like just not for me. Not because I can appreciate a very good scrapbook. I really can. My problem with scrapbooking is I don't get the immediate gratification that I do when I'm stamping. And unfortunately for me, I am an immediate gratification kind of girl. I like at the end of whatever time I've allotted, I can see that I've created something. You know what I mean? Now you can accomplish that with scrapbooking, but I worked on a couple of kits and I don't print my pictures, so I don't have pictures anywhere, right? All my pictures are either in the cloud somewhere, or they are on Facebook, something like that, but they are not somewhere like, I don't go to the, well, there's not a Kodak thing anymore, but I don't go to the pharmacy, or I don't send anything off for them to be printed. So I just generally do not have any pictures. So I've got scrapbook layouts that I've done, you know, because I was trying, and I just haven't, they're unfinished because I don't have pictures to put in them. Okay, so on here, we're going to do congratulations. And congratulations is centered. And then we will have all of our elements ready, and then we can put this card together. So as much as I appreciate the scrapbook kits, and I do buy them because there's paper in them, there's stickers in them that I can use to create cards. So even though I'm not a scrapbooker and I probably will never follow those layouts, does not mean I can't take a scrapbook layout, minimize it, and make it into a card design. That's an option as well. You just kind of make it, break it down and make it something smaller. That's it. All right. Congratulations, and that's kind of centered. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. I do about a 5-second count to make sure like my ink is transferred. You can also do a Mississippi count. Do you know what a Mississippi count is? 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. That's a Mississippi count. That's 2. And 3. I think the only thing we have left to do is add the glue dots to the rest of the leaves. Okay. put the adhesive on the back of these things. Okay? 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000. I was like, where is my tape? All right. Usually in the kits, there's always a little extra of something that you can use if you wanted to create another card or use as elements on something else. I got some card swaps I've got to finish up. So that's what's on the rest of my agenda. I do host a card swap group. Every month we have at least, at the minimum, 3 different swaps that we have. I generally try to do a sketch, a fun fold, and a technique. And maybe sometimes if I have extra, something else, just something fun. This month, what's really, really interesting is it's a 2-part swap. It's called Kit and Caboodle. That's what I called it, the Kit and Caboodle swap. And why did I call it the Kit and Caboodle swap? I called it the Kit and Caboodle swap because you have to send your swap partner, whoever that is, and those have been posted already, a kit. You can put whatever you want in that kit, right? It's limited only by your imagination. And what you do once your partner gets the kit, so you've got to make sure that that kit is mailed so that your partner receives the kit by the 15th of the month, because then your partner has until the end of the month to create a card or a project. It doesn't have to be a card, whatever they decide to create, with all of the elements that you have put in that kit. Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? So I called it the Kit and Caboodle swap. I try to create little fun names for them too, just because. Alright, so here we go. These are done. Okay. And then we needed dimensionals on this. Well, you know how I feel about that, so one of the things with me and dimensionals, and most of you who've watched my videos before know that one of the things that I don't like about like when I say I don't like is when I send a card, or when I send a card, is if it's dimensioned, if it has dimensions on it. I absolutely hate that if you have to touch it somewhere, it then sinks in the middle because there's no dimensionals in the middle of it. To me, I just have a problem with that. So for me personally, yeah, I just prefer like either a adhesive sheet, or using the tape that I use. That way I don't feel bad using like 50 million dimensionals on one card. I mean, one strip, I guess, does equate to 50 million dimensionals, I guess. I guess it does. Oh, that's the back. All right, so these guys are done. Oops, I cut too much off there. we've got these done. And so what we've got on there, let's put these here. I'm so trying not to reach for my my liquid glue. I'm literally trying not to reach for it. Okay. Oh no. See, I'm doing the wrong thing here. These little guys are on here. Yeah. That's where those guys are. Just gotta pay attention sometimes. I mean, I could have put them on that one. Okay. Then we're gonna put this one about like that. Okay. Then we're gonna put this guy on here. And on the first one, this is where I kind of always audition as well, how I'm going to assemble, right? I can't see that way. Okay. So now that I have that way, these, there's two of these per, and these are have a little glue dimensional. So let's just go ahead and put the dimensional on them. I wish there was a way that I could refill the putty in here. Does anybody know? Do you have a tip for how to refill the putty in the take your pick tool? I know we sell the refills, but I have all that tacky stuff from when I do diamond painting. So I do have them. Okay, so now what do we do here? Okay. This is gonna go on here, like so. We're gonna have one of these go like that. Oh wait, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, sorry. This goes down first. Because that sometimes some things have to go on in place first, so you can see proper alignment, right? So if we use that, and we use that, that should be straight. It looks straight to me. Then we've got this guy who's up here, kind of like that. Then we've got this one that's down here, kind of like that. and then we put some gems on. Okay, so that's our configuration that we're going for with these. Okay, so as we can see, that means these guys have got to get their glue dots on first. So let's get them on. Okay. Let's just get them all on. Yep. And then we can move on. I've actually broken out the grid papers again because they help to reduce the glare from one of the overhead lights that I have. Yeah. Oops. Well, that's that. Okay. So, they do help to reduce the glare. Oops. That one's gone. I'm just trying to make sure I'm careful so that I don't rip my leaf. So that I don't. So I have one coming like this. And I'm not trying to be exact, but I'm trying to get as close to same placement as I can. Okay. And we got this that goes here. And then we've got, oh, I didn't put those on yet. Right. Leaves. A friend of mine, I was just talking to one of my coworkers, and you know, I've never thought to freeze rice before. Have you thought about that? Have you ever done that? I have never thought about freezing rice. And so she was talking to me. I mean, I cook a lot of rice, and of course I put it in the refrigerator because generally I eat it during the week, you know, with the meal. But you know, one of the things is that I guess now that I'm trying to make sure that I have some things available so that I'm always have meals ready to eat, I can do that. So I'm steaming a batch of rice right now. And I had gone, I think it was called Soup Starters, where I had seen it. And they had these little silicone, I think it was quarter cup bowls. So that I can freeze things. So I'm about to head off into that journey. Yeah. And get some rice frozen so that I can, oops, this goes next. And then, of course, I asked my A-girl, you know, you can freeze rice. I mean, you can freeze anything for as long as you want, but she said 6 months, it's good for 6 months. Up to 6 months, right? Yeah. So depending on how many, I'm gonna show you just pop back into my Facebook page, in the craft room with Caron, and once I have put them in you'll see what they look like. The little bowls, the little silicone bowls for freezing. I knew they would come in handy. Alright, we are almost done with card number 2. Almost. And almost is a figurative thing, is it not? Wait, okay, I didn't do those 2. Okay, that's why I'm like, why do I have 2 extras over there? That's why. Okay, and in case you hadn't realized it, I am definitely using these grid lines to help me line up my sentiment, to kind of make sure that they're even. May not be perfect, but they're relatively even. Okay, so now there's one up here. That. And then there's one down here. That's 2. Oh, that's this one. This one needs one down here. And one down here. Relatively in the same space. All right. And then lastly, now keep in mind I still haven't put any gems on here yet, and they're gems that came in the kit. Sure this is relatively even and straight. That's one. That's 2. 4-mile walk-in today. Did anybody else do any kind of physical activity today? I had a 4-mile walk-in. I love when, normally, I'm starting over, all right? And I'm working my way back up to 6 miles on Saturdays. That's what I normally did before. I am a fair weather girl. What does I mean by that? As long as the weather is nice and cool, nice and warm, or cool outside, I will be outside and I'll walk. If it gets cold, I hibernate. I don't like the cold. I don't want to be in the cold in any way, shape, or form. So the cold seemed to have crept in a little bit earlier this year and stayed, in my opinion, a little bit too long. So I found that for me, I'm literally just coming out of hibernation with my walking, because the weather's just now starting to get beautiful. Okay, so here's our 3 cards. And so we have got, and I'm going to put these on. Here are the dots. There's 4 of them. Wait a minute. That's not enough. Is it enough? There's 3 on here. Okay, not 4. So there's one here and a small one. One there, and one here. Okay. You can change up your gems, even though these were included in your kit. But if you wanted to do a colored gem, you could change up your kit, your item. And there's one right there. Oops. One right there. One right there. And one right there. Okay, so these are done. All right, now we're going to start on our last card, but before we do that, you know, we got to clean up a little bit. I know. But we got to clean up a little bit, get some of the mess out of the way. I try to do that in between projects. If I'm sitting down for like a whole day's worth of crafting or whatever, I do try to make sure that in between projects I clean up. That way, at the end of the night or the end of my crafting session, whichever one is whichever, I don't have like a whole long. It's not like a whole tedious journey. I do try in between to clean my workspace. Okay, so that's number 2. And then lastly, these guys. All right. So we've got our card base. We've got our filigree layer right here. We've got our stamped layers right there. Well, this one's going to be relatively simple. And then we've got all of these dudes right here. Yes. We've got our sentiment here. We only need 3 of them. We're going to need some of these leaves, and we're going to need that guy. Okay? I really might just break out the liquid glue for this part. I might. We'll see. Okay. First things first. We need this. We're going to need to stamp on this. And we're going to need to stamp on this. We don't need this one anymore. So we put this away. Welcome Baby we're going to need. What else are we going to need? We're going to need... Okay. Welcome Baby. Okay, that's even. And then... Oh, we didn't put you back. Sweet little one is the sentiment that we need on this one. Okay, condition, 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 condition. Welcome Baby is in the center. Welcome Baby. Yes. I generally don't clean my stamps during a crafting session. When I'm done at the end of the night is generally when I will clean my stamps. I'll bring out either the baby wipes or whatever, or the water. Welcome Baby, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Welcome Baby, that's 1. Welcome Baby. So right off the bat, when I'm finished with this crafting session, I will have 3 baby cards already prepared for when I need them, or if somebody says to me, hey Caron, do you have a welcome baby card or a new baby card? I will have some already in stash, ready to go. Okay. I am using, as you can see, that grid line to line up my stamps, or at least to make sure that the cardstock is straight. Like that. 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000. And then we're going to use this one. I know it's been a little bit a long time today, but I'm trying to, with 9 cards, I think we did okay. 9 cards in, we'll probably be finished before the actual 2-hour mark, maybe an hour and 50 minutes. No. No. That's because I didn't lift the stamp straight up. I kind of just let it, I drug it a little bit. And this is also centered. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000. That's 1. You just need to develop a rhythm, and once you've developed a rhythm, you'll find that you move a little bit faster. Now, I'm not sure how much faster you would go doing this, but I know that for me, when I'm recording and I'm talking, I move a little bit slower than I do normally when I'm crafting for my own purposes. And I'm sitting in here and I'm really not doing much talking. I'm listening. I listen to music. I listen to podcasts. I listen to my audiobook. Okay, there we go. So all of the stamping is done, I believe, on this one. Now we just need to add our foam tape, and I believe we've had just enough foam tape here. Oh no, we're done. Okay, not a problem. I must have used too much, which said no one ever. Said no one ever. That's 2 and 3. Okay. Then I'm gonna grab my 1/4" tape again. I believe there was a single strip down the center on this one. So we're going to do that. Single strip, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. All right, and then on the blue strips, we're gonna need, gotta bring that part back out. Not done with the stamping. See, I told you, not done. Missed a step. Okay. So those are done. Burnish, 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 burnish. Now again, burnishing just helps to ease the release of the adhesive from the release paper and onto the cardstock. Okay? Okay, so those are done. So let's see what we've got going on here. We're gonna need 6 of them, 7. 4 of them are gonna have glue dots and 3 are not. So 3 times 3 is 9. So I need to do 9 of them with dimensionals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get started because I'm going to use liquid glue. Hopefully I'll move a little bit faster using the liquid glue on that one. So let's grab our stamp one last time. What did I do with this one? Because we do need to add our little splatter. Right. Let's put that down there. You guys hearing my little notifications? I think I forgot to turn them off. 1, 2, out 3, 4, and I'm guessing placement 5. That's what I'm doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Where's my lid? There it is. Okay. So, oh, these guys have, but again, I'm going to put the dimensionals on the back of these when, yeah. Okay. One. Gotta have your pattern. That's one. That's 2. And 3. Okay, so we've got that. Then the next thing we want to do is we want to add our sentiment strip, this one. Welcome, baby. Alrighty, this is going to get centered, and I'm going to use the bottom line right there. That's from edge to edge, like so. So for alignment, that's 1. That's 2. I'm always using grid lines to help me with alignment, okay? You may not need that help, but I absolutely have to have it. Absolutely have to. Yes. I absolutely have to have it. Okay. And then so now, because of how this is aligned, I am going to put this, yeah. So let me ask for future videos purposes. Do you prefer that I finish all 3 cards and spend that extra time, or do you want me? Would you prefer just to do 1 of each, and then you can finish the other cards on your own? Put that little comment in there for me. just helps me to gauge how you guys like to watch. I know generally for my paper pumpkin videos, I will do one of each, and if I've got alternatives, then I spend that time, extra time doing a couple of alternative cards. So that's what I do with those. But as I'm making these kits, if you just leave me a comment and let me know, do you want to spend the time and watch me put all 9 cards or however many in the kit, or do you just want me to do one of each design? Alright guys, my paper share is getting ready to go live. I just, I'm receiving my paper, getting ready to package them, and the link to reserve your paper share. There is a minimum of 4 people required for a paper share to go live. That's the only way that the pricing works best and affordable for most everyone, is if I'm able to have at least 4 people available or participate in that swap. The other thing that I'm going, not swap, the card share. The other thing we're going to be doing is the In Color Club, and that will need a minimum of 5 people. And then increments of 5 after that. So if you've got 4 friends and you want to do the In Color Club, let me know and we can get that started. But there's got to be at least 5 people in that club. And again, working on the pricing. It's the first time I'm doing the In Color Club, so I'm excited about it. And I hope you guys will join. Alrighty. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I do thank you for spending some of your afternoon with me here in the craft room as we work with and create with the happy, what is this kit called? I forgot the name of it already. Happy Happenings. Oh Lord, how could I forget that? The Happy Happenings kit. That's one. That's 2. Okay, and the last one. And then we get to put all of our accoutrements on there. Whoops. All right. Okay. All right. So now what do we have? We have, oh boy. We've got some leaves. I'm definitely going to need this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because there's 2 on each card. All right. Okay. anybody watched or not watched, read the Sue Grafton series, Kinsey Milhone series? I'm just actually watching that for the first time, or reading them for the first time. Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't skip this.
Okay, I don't know why that popped on. You know what they say, that somebody's always listening? And they say somebody's always listening? Uh-huh, that's what they meant. Right there. That's one. There's another one that's gonna go here. I can maneuver with my liquid glue so fast. I can. Any other form of glue, I'm a little bit slowpokey. If that's a word, right? Slowpokey? Okay. And then last, we've got this guy over here-ish. Okay. Okay. Oh, I think that needs to be up more. That's okay. We'll adjust. Alright, so then we've got that, and then now we've got our flower clusters to go. Where are our flower clusters? One. Oops. One. Two. Three. Okay. And then down here, we're going to put one of these guys on there. Right, so we got one, and then we've got one and two. More than one way to skin a cat is what I'm told. There's one. There's two. And then the third. A fourth. Okay. Here we go. Wasn't that a bit faster? So, guy's gonna go right about here. Up a little bit more. There we go. Just like that. All right. Guys, we are almost done. I know, right? 9 cards in about 2 hours. A little bit more than 2 hours, but still. A little bit more. Okay. And one more. Guys, we are almost done. Again, we are working with the Happy Happenings kit. This is still available in my online store, and you can go ahead and check that out. You can shop this or any other products in my online store at www.sweetsignatures.stampinup.net. And should you have any questions about anything dealing with stamping, if you'd like to become a member of Stampin Up and become a demonstrator yourself, whether it's for a hobby or for a business, I would love for you to reach out to me and talk to me about it. I would love for you to join the Sweet Signature Stampers team so we can grow our crafting endeavors together. There we go, that's that one. And then let's see, I'm going to do one here, one about right here, and then we'll be done with our glue. Okay, number 1. Number 2. And you can maneuver or place things, either in the general vicinity of, or if you want it exact. That's where the personalization comes in to our kits. Okay, you get to decide certain elements of the process. Lastly, this one goes there. Now there are some gems on here. There's 3 of them. Let's see. What did I just do with my pokey tool? Here we go. There's one here. There's a small one here. And then there's another one up here. And then you just put your gems wherever they make sense to what you have created or designed with, right? So here's this. Here's this one. We're going to put this one right here. And then we're going to put another one right there. Well, let's put this one up here. And then if they're in the same general vicinity, it's all good. Yeah. Alright guys, I'm going to bring all three of them back. That way you can see. All the cards that we have created. So here's card number 3. Here's card number 2. And then here is card number 1. Whoops, I love them. Thanks for joining me, you guys. I will be back next week with some more card making in the craft room with Caron. Guys, thanks for joining again and have a great evening. Happy stamping and oh, happy Easter.